Remember how we were talking about that question? Remember I said I wasn't going to ask you where did you add. I was going to ask you, how did you decide where to add? It's like, I already know you're adding, right? But how did you decide where to add? All right, and so I want to just show you a couple people that did that. And what's interesting is there are different types of writing. So Henry is trying this. Henry said, well, I need to add to my ending. Henry, why did you say you didn't like, you wanted to add to your ending?
Because it only said the end.
Yeah, just kind of the end, yeah. I just thought it wasn't very interesting. And what's really interesting is this is kind of a big feeling, big part of your story, isn't it? Like the end is when they run away from this Bigfoot, right? It's like this big feeling and emotion at the end. It's kind of ends. So what Henry decided to do is he decided not to do to be continued. He said he added what happened a month later, so he jumps ahead a whole month. Remember that day of horror, the day 2 men lost their lives to it. That day will stay alive in my head. Right. We kind of know how this person is feeling at this point. So he's thinking about that big feeling, and that does it way more than just the end. Right. Right. So Henry, it was helpful to think about a part of his story, the ending, and thinking about what are the emotions that you want. All right. Which is different than what Reese decided. So Reese, tell everyone, where did you decide that you needed to add? Add a lot. Why did you add to the ending?
Because it was a part where the character was acting out of character.
Look, she added 2 whole paragraphs here at that part because she felt like that wasn't really showing the change enough. You got to stretch that out. Now I'm curious. One of the things we talked about was there is a change here, but maybe she needs to make her even, in this case, ruder over here. Did you decide to make her ruder, or did you leave her as rude as she was?
I took your advice and I used different words.
Why are you asking me weird questions? So you made her even a little bit ruder.
Yeah,
so one of
the second one.
yeah. So she added in a little bit to make the emotions even stronger. Yeah, I know. I worried about which word to use when I was saying that to you. I thought, oh, dumb. Usually we don't talk about things being dumb in school, right? So weird is an interesting compromise. But you're saying, no, you just would go with dumb.
Yeah, I did that one.
You think dumb sounds ruder than weird?
Yeah.
What about stupid? Yeah, so you're probably not supposed to say it. All right, so. All right, we'll stay away from that one then. All right, so, and then I want to show you, but now here's what's interesting. This is going to help some of you. What Alexandra had to think about is totally different, right? Alexandra had to think about where might her reader be confused. So there's a part here about dolphins and how they attack sharks. Did you do that already? How did you do that so fast? Dolphins swim fast and dive under the shark. When they charge the shark, the belly, this is where the weak spot is, the shark's belly may ache. All right, so you're going to add that right in there because you've now, I understand, like when I first read this part about how dolphins attack with their nose.
That makes me think, why?
I don't know what.
Like, he thought that it would be sneeze.
I don't know what it was, right? I was like, how would I attack someone with my nose, right? It doesn't work, right? But but now, here's the big thing. Alexandra didn't just think about it there. She's now going to be reading and thinking about where else might my reader be confused? Where else do I need to add a little paragraph? Instead of having just a couple sentences, where do I need to add maybe a paragraph like this so my reader won't be confused? Okay? Are you already thinking about another section where that might be? Or are we going to ponder that tonight?
Well, you told me like two other sections.
But where do you think? You'll have to reread it and really, I don't think you have time to really go back and reread it and think about it. Think about it tonight when you're brushing your teeth, okay? All right. But now, Yadida, you said, and I came back, before we left, you said, oh, I better think about your question. And when we sat down, first thing you said was, I've been thinking about your question. All right, do you have an answer for that question? All right, how did you decide where to add into your writing today?
I decided what to add. I added at the first couple paragraphs in my story because I wanted to give them not like the whole story and ending, but the whole paragraph. So yeah, I wanted to make it more interesting so the next paragraph they will read it.
Okay, so you tried to
end it with a
Okay, so you added to the beginning so to make your reader, you wanted to catch them right at the beginning so they'd keep reading? Huh, that's interesting. That's kind of like what Henry was thinking about his is the end, right? He wants to make sure beginnings and endings are always good places to think about adding, because sometimes we want to make sure people want to keep reading or they understand how things are at the end, right? So here's what's interesting about what Yedita just said. She didn't just say, I added to the beginning. She said, I added to the beginning because. So she explained why she added there. That's exactly what fourth graders need to do. You know what happens in a lot of fourth grade classes? I'm in a lot of fourth grade classes. A lot of times people just add things in just to add. You guys aren't doing that. You're thinking about where to add and why, which is exactly what we want you to think about.
Because you said.
Yeah. You want to do it intentionally. Yeah. All right. As usual, I've really enjoyed being in your class today. Can I borrow those pieces of writing and I'll bring these back later?